We're gonna call this Acorn Talk. I got 10 minutes. When I was little, I grew up in did y'all know I'm from Texas? I grew up in East Texas. Give me a couple of beers, I'll bring out my Texas twang on you. It's really cute. Asian with a Texas twang. It's really cute. And I can also two-step too, which is, that really, I know, I'm sorry. I know. Okay, so when I was little, you know, we had a lot of oak trees, and we have these big-ass acorns in East Texas, not these little tiny ones y'all have here, right? We have real big ones. And did anyone ever have acorn wars when you were little? So you get two teams, you stand behind a shed or tree, and you all gather your acorns, and then you start throwing acorns at each other. And you try to find like the hardest acorn, you know, like fresh acorn, and you throw it, and you're trying to hurt people, right? You're trying to hurt the other dude. So that's how I grew up. So I'm going to try and draw an acorn for y'all. Let's see how I do here. All right. That's actually pretty good. That's a good acorn. Yeah, look at me go. Okay, so you have an acorn. Y'all got me? So you're this acorn. You're the acorn. Okay? And here's what's important for you to understand. And this really changed my life when I understood this. When you look at that acorn, I pick it up, I'm going to throw it at Stephen's head. It's hard. It looks like the perfect acorn. What I don't realize is that that acorn is in the process of dying. It's dying. Okay?
So sad.
I know it's sad. Because, why is it dying? The whole purpose of the acorn is to send out a taproot. Okay? It's got to put out a taproot into some fertile soil. And every second, not every minute, not every day, every second that it doesn't put out the taproot, it's dying. And here's the thing, even though it looks perfect from the outside, it looks like a healthy, perfect acorn is actually dying. And when I realized this, that I was like, this is the perfect analogy for obesity. And the problem we have with New Mexico and the United States is that we've become too accustomed to this obesity. We say stuff like, but this is how we grew up. We've always eaten this way. This is our people. No, it's not. Answer is no, it's not. And the truth of the matter is, you're dying on the inside. You understand that, right? High blood pressure, your high blood pressure is just another word for stroke waiting to happen. Your diabetes is another word for kidney failure waiting to happen, blindness waiting to happen, missing toes waiting to happen. So when you say, well, it's just one cookie, that's a vote for no toes. Does that make sense? Because you're falling apart on the inside, and some of y'all can keep it up for a while, still working, still playing with your kids, but eventually your body will give out, like the acorn. Does that make sense, y'all? Yeah. So what we're going to do, can you see this on the screen okay? Mm-hmm. So write this down. If you're not growing, you're dying. Anything that's not growing is dying. Anything that's not growing is dying. Like fruit. When it's past its ripeness, it's going to start dying. Does that make sense? So, your job, this is your primary job, is to send out that taproot. Right? And that taproot, sending out the taproot is hard. Why? Because you don't know where you're going to land as an acorn. If you land on rocky soil, you're screwed. If you land on concrete, you're screwed. You have to land on the right soil. So for you guys are lucky. Your soil is group. Your soil is this program. It's Facebook. It's keeping in touch. It's coming up for your follow-up visits. It's dinner club. It's clothing swap. Does that make sense? It is following Mary Lou's around and asking her how she became so sexy. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? And the thing that we make the mistake is we think, I'm an acorn, I've landed on the driveway. This is just what I was dealt in life. I'm stuck here. I can't grow. But you don't know if a skinny Asian is going to come along, pick you up, and hurl you at his friend. You hit off of his big fat head, and you land onto some fertile soil. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's your weight loss journey. The second you decided to join our program, you were all pissed off at me because I made you give up your sweets. I made you give up your junk. I made you take, remember that welcome visit picture y'all all had to take? No one wants to take that picture. And you're like, this guy's an ass. And I'm like, you got to give up your work. You got to come to group.
Give up your excuses.
You got to give up your excuses, your reasons. Like, don't, Dr. Vuong, I need to tell you what I've been through. And I said, no, I don't want to hear it. It doesn't matter that you're on concrete because we're going to pick your ass up and throw you onto some fertile soil. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But your job is to crack through your hard-ass shell. And here's the problem. It's hard work to break through that shell. And it's violent. And it's disruptive. I get that. It's supposed to be. It's the process of transformation you want so badly. Does that make sense? Problem is you have this fat brain. And the fat brain says, it shouldn't be hard. Fat brain says what? It should be easy. I've been on this diet for 2 days. Why am I not skinny? I've gone to the gym twice now. I don't see a difference. Does that make sense? That's fat brain talking. And you're going to have to accept the fact that it's going to be hard. Right? You're going to have to read. You're going to have to watch videos. You're going to have to study because it's a hard shell to break. Okay? Because ultimately, all of us want to get to this point. You sprouted. You're happy. I know there's no flowers in acorns right now.
That doesn't look like the rock.
But that's me right there.
Okay? Everybody wants to get this goal. Y'all drawing this down? You're getting this goal weight. And fat brain says, like, this should have happened yesterday. Tomorrow at the latest. I'll wait till tomorrow. And I'm telling you to go from taproot to this plant, this is the hard work. This is the journey. This is the process. Okay? And it is work. It is discipline. It is dedication. It's goal setting. It's journaling. It's all the stuff I teach you. It's meditation. I'm going to give you one more thing. Everybody looks at this pretty flower, this sprout, and we think this is what we want. Once I get here, I'll be happy. Fat brain says, I'll be happy here. Dr. Vuong, just do my surgery, I'll be happy. And I'm telling you, no. Surgery will not make you happy. Surgery is when the real hard work starts happening. Everybody looks at the fruit. This is the problem with the world. People don't understand that it's the roots. So here's your focus from now. Here's your homework. Your job is to grow your roots. If you sprout too soon, you haven't done the hard work, you don't have a good roots system. Yesterday the wind was blowing so hard, what would happen to you? You're done. So let's say you just had surgery, but you never dealt with your past anger issues, depression issues, money issues. What's going to happen when you get a flat tire? Can't go to group.
They're going to blow up.
You're going to blow over. It's done. And that's just getting a flat tire. That's not talking about getting fired from work. That's not your mother-in-law talking bad about you. Your husband leaving you for another man. You know, your son coming down with cancer. The real life stuff, that's going to knock you over. Does that make sense? So, point number 2. If you stop growing, then what? You're dying again. It's easy to say, you know, I've been here 3.5 years. We're the busiest program in New Mexico. I need to bring on another surgeon. I'm hiring new staff. We just tripled in floor space. Man, I got it good. Kick back, drink my margarita. What would happen to the program tomorrow? It starts dying. I got to continually push my surgical skills, my speaking skills, book writing skills, all that stuff. You have to do that too. Just because you had the surgery, it's not over. Just because you've dropped 100 pounds, it's not over. Just because you left your husband, I'm telling you, it's always continual work. Does that make sense? Number 3, don't be deceived by the sunshine. We think it's always going to be sunny days. But it's not, is it? Will there be wind? Will there be rain? You need rain. You need snow, precipitation. That's what happens for a nice spring. Does that make sense? But we get too caught up in sunny days. And we take time off. We think we deserve a cookie. It's just one time. I've been so good for 6 months. 6 months is nothing in the 40 years Tammy's got left to live. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your homework is this. Build your roots. Your roots are what makes you strong. Not only does it let you take in the nutrients from the ground, from the rainwater, this is your sleeve family. You need to hang out with some of these skinny sleeve sisters and be like, how did you get here? What did you do to get to a size 8, size 4? You have a sleeve sister who's like a size 2. Did you know that? You have a sleeve sisters and brothers who are millionaires. Did you know that? You could be sitting right next to a millionaire right now and you just don't know it. So if you need to get your money straight, you got to talk about that. Because I promise you, your journey afterwards, if you don't have your money straight and you still think fruits and veggies are too expensive, and they're not, you're going to be struggling. Does that make sense? If you can't run, you say, this irritates me, but when people say, I don't have gas money, you go to a group, you're in trouble. You don't have gas money, but you got money for another tattoo? That shit pissed me off. Does that make sense? So, your sleeve family, this is meditation. This is goal setting. This is journaling. What else is it? Anybody? New recipes. What else is it? New foods. Try new things. What else? New friends.
New friends, yeah.
You can't have the same old fat-ass broke friends. You can't. Your bestie only has enough money to go through McDonald's drive-thru, you're in trouble. Because they got other problems in their life. I promise you they got other problems in their life. Does that make sense? They got problems keeping their bills on, their light power on.
One of our sleeve sisters
Does that make sense?
just lost one of her best friends because they were only keeping her around
Yeah.
because they felt better about themselves.
That's right. So, this is the reading. This is the videos. This is the turn off the damn television. This is volunteer work. Thank you. In the book. This is helping out with clothing swap. You know, we focus too much on the flower. We don't understand that if you will just tend to the roots, to the soil, the soil is the key to your garden. The soil is the key. Does that make sense? Put the work into the soil. Yeah? And I think if you can do that, because the problem is, even though you're a sprout, what do you have here? You still have fat brain. You still have fat brain that says, I've done this long enough. How much longer do I need to do this? I'm no good at meditating. I can't afford fruits and veggies. I live in this little BFE town and no way for me to move. Like, are you kidding me? Fat brain says, hey, you've already had the surgery. Why aren't you skinny yet? That's what fat brain says. Fat brain says, you're stuck here on this concrete driveway. Skinny Asian says, no, move. Move, change, develop, grow. Work on your roots. Y'all have a good grief this week?
Yes.
All right. Get your sorry broke asses out of here. Who's having surgery Monday and Tuesday? Raise your hands. Hey, y'all give them love, everybody. Give them love.